Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Cougar TV. I'm Lakeith Trainer.
And I'm Elena Africano. This week, Coronado's theater department will present the spring musical titled Once Upon a Mattress.
It will take place on March 10th and 11th at 7 p.m. and March 12th at 1 and 7 p.m. in the auditorium. The cast and crew have been working hard for over 3 months to make sure that the production is at its best. It'll showcase students who have acting, singing, and dancing skills. Let's take a look and see how they did during their dress rehearsal.
I'm Levi Roberts. I play Prince Dauntless. He's one of the lead characters in Once Upon a Mattress. Dauntless is in need of a wife. Until he gets married, no one else in the kingdom can get married, and it's sort of his dream to be a husband to a pretty princess. So he's very innocent, naive, and unaware of the realities of the world.
Hi, I'm Deanna Cooper, and I play Winifred in Once Upon a Mattress. She's really the princess of the tale, and she actually comes from the swamps, but she's brave and bold and kind of a more progressive woman for her time, and she is looking for a husband. So she meets Prince Dauntless and hopefully finds love with him.
Hi, I'm Kailani Yanish. I'm playing the queen in the musical Once Upon a Mattress. The queen, she's not exactly the lead that you would want to grow up to be. She's the villain in the play and the antagonist. She's pretty controlling, and her only son, Dauntless, she is pretty much using him as a puppet to control the entire kingdom.
Tickets are $8 for students and children, $10 for adults, and $5 for senior citizens. You can purchase your tickets in the business office, at the door, or online at showtixforyou.com.
After school, the anime club gathers together, and even though the club centers around an art in a different language and from a different culture, the members are still able to understand and relate to this foreign form of entertainment.
We sent over a team to see what the anime club is really about.
I look across the raging war and feel the steady beating of my heart.
Anime Club is a club where we watch animation films. Most of them are Japanese. They're either dubbed or in subtitles. And most of the films are incredibly artfully done, and they tell good stories.
Not particularly. There is the occasional community cleanup that we have to do, but other than that, and now I think about it, maybe a few trips to festivals and stuff that the school hosts, but other than that, no.
Thinking next year, we're probably going to have a discussion about if probably doing like an anime drawing of the week.
We meet every Monday after school, and so anybody could just drop in. The club officially starts at 3:10 on Monday, and we go till 4:15. And we also meet the first Friday of every month, so once a month on Friday and every week on Monday.
Anime Club meets after school at 3:10 in room 213 with Miss Stuckey every Monday and the first Friday of each month.
Wow. To think that a culture from almost halfway around the world has such an influence here, to inspire students to form a club around it. It's impressive. We even have some fans here in Cougar TV.
Coronado has been around for quite a long time. In fact, the doors first opened in the year 1970. Students and maybe even some staff have been curious about how much our school has changed in the last 46 years.
Well, that curiosity led to one of our teams to learn some history from the seasoned staff. Let's take a look at what they captured.
Hi, well, I'm Mr. Hugo. It's a beautiful March morning, and I was asked what it was like when I came here 17 years ago. Well, I can tell you, first of all, that the small gym was just a pile of cinder blocks. It wasn't even finished yet. Mrs. Schleicher, she was Miss Date at the time, and she's been married since, gotten married since then. There were 1,800 plus students here at the time. You can imagine the parking lots just to the east of me here were just jam-packed with cars. It was so hard to find a place to park that students would park across the streets. Then they'd get yelled at by the police and whatnot, and it was quite a struggle just to park. I also remember going to basketball games, and they were packed out. There was a huge amount of school pride. Same with volleyball games. Lots of cheering, people painting their faces in the red and gold and carrying signs and screaming and getting rowdy, and it was a good time. It was tremendous school spirit at the time. Another thing we didn't have then was what's happening right now is Cougar TV. And Cougar TV didn't exist, but I remember when Tim Lee from Hoff and Lee Real Estate, he donated the money to make all this happen. And I'm really proud to say that I think Cougar TV is just at an all-time excellent high. You all do a wonderful job with that. And so that's what I remember.
Coronado has come a long way from its first graduating class. Isn't it crazy to think that the incoming freshmen next year will be the 50th graduating class?
Wow, half a century. This place is definitely vintage. Anyways, let's send it over to the man with the plan, Stan.
Thanks, fellow anchors. As we continue to be in the middle of 2 sports seasons, rock climbing has made its way all the way to state. So let's take a look and see how they did.
I'm going to start off by saying that we had a really good season. We started off a little bit rough, a little bit choppy. People were kind of sore. But we came together as a team. The varsity guys and girls helped out the JV, and I'm really proud of that. It took a lot of dedication. I don't think people realize, climbing's a really rough and really physical sport. When you're climbing, my hands are just always beat up, So it's kind of getting that mental aspect of, persevering and getting through it, despite the pain that climbing brings with it. But we did, and we got through it, and because of that mindset, I think that's what brought us to state. And we got to state, and I'll say that, state didn't go what we wanted it to. It was really hard climbing. It was tough. I'm going to be straight up. The routes were crappy. A lot of people didn't do well, but there were climbers there who really inspired us to go hey, this is how we can change our training program. But I think that the biggest success we had this season was just our attitude, because we had a really good attitude about it in the gym, and hopefully that can kind of transfer over. And once that does transfer over into the climbing world, then maybe one day we can win state. So that'd be pretty cool. But we came close.
Good job, climbers. We all hope to see you progress and grow for next year. Speaking of growing, Lance could have used a few inches when he took on Jaden Lewis in a one-on-one pickup game. Some serious beef has arisen between the two, and they decided to take it out on the court.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
Ouch, that was a pretty bad whooping. That's it for sports. Now back to you guys.
Elena, what's one of the coolest sports you can think of?
Archery.
Well, there's a particular Coronado Cougar who knows all about archery. His name is Anthony Phillips, and he's featured in this week's Faces in the Crowd.
My name is Anthony Phillips. I'm a senior, and I do archery. It's always kind of been a side hobby of mine, but a few years ago I tried it at a summer camp and I really liked it, so I stuck with it. I started actually competing about a year ago, but I got my own bow 2 years ago. I've competed in several statewide tournaments, like just around the Springs and up in Denver and Fort Collins in that area. Recently I competed in Albuquerque for a national tournament, Vegas for a world tournament, and I also competed in the Rocky Mountain State Games over the summer. I hope to, if there's not a team in college, start one and compete in college and eventually maybe coach when I'm not working. So there's several, but the two that I most look up to are Brady Ellison. He's a recurve and he competed in the Olympics, and Jesse Broadwater. He's a professional compound. So.
That was definitely some awesome shooting. Good job, Anthony. Well, that wraps up another week of Cougar TV. Join us next week to find out what's happening in your hallways. I'm Elena Africano.
And I'm Lakeith Trainer. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the rest of your week.